Hey, what's going on, guys? A lot of bullets here with another video, and so what's going on is there's a TGT launch, and we're here. We're finally we made it, boys. And so I want to talk about some of the things that I've been reading about. People have been complaining that this expansion hasn't been very innovative, and I kind of want to address that and kind of just show some examples to show that maybe there's more to it than people are giving it credit for. And yes, we're one day out of launch. Like, launch came just came yesterday, and I opened like over 100 packs of TGT. And this, I've thrown together some decks, and I've tried some things out, and like, I haven't really started climbing that much. I'm only rank 6. Like, I have all the excuses in the world, but it's getting towards the end of the season. And anyway, so I have some insight here with some of these things, and I think that people are kind of writing things off, and I just want to make sure that people are keeping their heads on straight. So first thing is, let's take a look at what people consider boring. This is an example of boring. This is a boring mid-range hunter, or not even mid-range, kind of like a hybrid hunter deck that is extremely good, extremely consistent. You know what you're going to get with the deck. It's a very solid deck. No matter what, this deck is always going to be good. No matter what the meta is, this deck is going to be good. Right? Now, there will be some like 1 or 2 card differences. Maybe you don't play these anymore, but you play this. Mid-range, Face Hunter has always been a very good staple aggro deck in Hearthstone, like pretty much since ever. Like, way back in the day, there was Beast Hunter, which was a little bit different, but it really did revolve around just keeping control decks in check, and that is what the goal of hunter decks are, and that's what people don't realize or understand, is that there needs to be definitively good aggro decks in order to keep everybody honest. Okay, if you're building a deck that's super greedy, you're going to lose to this deck 100 times out of 100, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, even if this deck draws piss poorly, you're probably going to lose, and that is what is needed. Okay, so people are mistaking, like, oh, because people are playing Face Hunter a lot, or people are playing this a lot, that means the expansion isn't innovative. Well, I have a very, very good couple of actually I have a lot of different ways to say that this is bullshit. So firstly, what's bullshit is this deck. This deck is insanely good. If you have not seen this deck, it's ridiculous. It's on Hearthstone.com. If you look at the top decks or whatever, this is Trump's mid-range Shaman. Holy crap, this deck is insanely good. Yeah, it looks like pretty much Trump just threw together some cards and said, yeah, this sounds really good. And this this deck is crazy. It has board control. It has it has card draw late in the game. It has staying power. Like, this deck is really, really, really good, and it's completely different from what we've seen before. So that's example point 1. Example point 2, I call it spicy meatball. This is what I'm working on. I mean, I have a very narrow focus when it comes to building decks. I like to build like 1 or 2 at a time. And this one I'm looking at, and I don't know if I like it yet, but this is what I'm working with. And the fact that I'm able to work with this, and this is a very, it's got potential. It's a very strong deck. It's playing strong cards. I think this deck has a lot of potential, but it's early. We don't know this. So firstly, the first thing to get just completely out of the way is that Hunter is always going to be a very, very, very good deck. It's a deck designed to keep other decks honest. Okay, if they didn't exist, every game would be greedy control versus greedy control, because there's nothing to keep them in check, nothing to keep them honest. So Hunter is always going to be a very good deck. Secondly, is that there's already a lot of innovation being done. Okay, there are also some more things going on. I'm sorry, I shouldn't go there. There's some very ridiculously good cards. So let's actually sort by Grand Tournament. This guy is actually ridiculously good. Okay, like, I know how girly that just ridiculously good. No, this card is ridiculously good. Okay, first off, it is like, okay, you're not going to be floored by a 4-mana 3/4. It's not a 4-mana card. It's a 6-mana. It's a 5-mana with Maiden of the Lake card. It's very much a card that you play and hero power immediately. And this guy is crazy, because you play him. It's a 3/4, whatever. It's a spider tank. Murloc, who cares? And then you hero power, and then you get 2 things from hero powering. That's crazy. Like, that's nuts. Okay? The next thing that's nuts is the neutral 3-mana guy. This guy, Silverhand Regent. Crazy. So let's take a look here. All right, let's just throw something together very briefly. Okay? Or this is an example of innovation. Okay? You put this. You put this. and then you go here, and then you go here, and then you go, obviously you go to this, these, to this. Okay, we got a little deck brewing here, okay? This is called brewing, all right? We took, let's just take, like, I'm not done yet. Like, this is an example, more or less, but you get the concept here. We took new cards, Murloc Knight, Silverhand Regent, and we threw existing cards into the deck to build something better. Okay, this is completely different. Murloc Knight, you know, Hero Power, Inspire, Inspire Archetype. Like, oh, I don't have them? Oh, I'm sorry, that does not, it's not Inspire. Made a boop. You play this, right? You play this. You know, it's like, you know, we got a little bit of a brew going. This is called a brew. And this is a great brew because it's starting off with, you know, with some very solid cards that you play, more solid cards, and even more solid cards. And before you know it, you got a whole token deck. You know, token Paladin wasn't a thing, you know, it's never been a thing. I mean, yeah, there's been aggro Ebola Din and stuff like that, but this isn't Ebola Din, and this isn't, you know, Control Paladin. This is a very good balance between the two, and it might make some more cards viable. So I'm just giving you guys examples here to run with. Don't take what I'm doing as, like, you know, gospel that this deck is going to be good. It doesn't matter. These cards are good. They're very high power cards. Some of the neutral legendaries. I mean, for instance, Chilmaw, he's insanely good. He says, Patron Warrior, screw you. This is, you know, it's a 7 mana card. You drop it on turn 7 right before turn 8, which is usually when they go, Warsong, Patron, and then a Whirlwind because they have a cost reduced from Emperor Tharasan. But yeah, like, you just play Chilmaw. It says fuck you to patrons, and not only that, it's also a dragon. It has a lot of upside. It's a very, very strong card. This is an example of a strong card. Okay, that's in the game or that's in TGT. Let's actually take a look, sort by TGT real quick, so you can get an example of some of these more powerful cards. I have most of them. Some of the legendaries I don't have, but Effigy is really, really strong. This deck, or a card that's going to be built out of it. Okay. A deck that's going to be built around this card is going to be a little bit until it sees play. Okay, Effigy on Paladin Shredder is retarded. Like, that's just absurdly powerful. So I think there's something that's going to happen with Effigy, but I don't know that there's enough time yet for people to figure out the deck for that card. I think Ronin's going to see a lot of play, unsuccessfully, but I crafted him because I think he's really good, and I think he's going to see play. I think he's going to, I think he's going to end up being somewhere, but, we'll see. And then let's see, what other ridiculous power levels are we talking here? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the rogue stuff. Like Thunder Bluff Valiant is crazy good, crazy good. This guy is so good. I just love it. Totem Golem, holy crap! A combat-focused totem, that's great. Let's see. Alex Ross's Champion. What? This is so good. A 2-mana 3/3 charger. Like, okay, a 2-mana 3/3. Good. That's like better than average. It's better than every 2-mana card in the game. And then it can have charge on top of that. It's insane. Gadget Zan Jouster. You play him in a control deck where you need early drops instead of playing Zombie Chow. You can play Gadget Zan Jouster, and you'll probably win the joust. And this guy is big. It's a lot of power level cards that people aren't seeing that are going to be very good staple cards. This guy is insane. This guy is insane. There's just lots of things going on here in this expansion that people haven't even had time to even formulate. This guy is insane. It's like, this guy could be insane. Like, we don't know these things yet. So I think before people write off this expansion for some unknown reason, which I don't get why people would just write off an expansion first day, but people are doing it. I don't understand. This expansion is great. It's very good. It's not too retarded. It's not going to bring in a ton of like cancer archetypes. It's going to bring, I think personally, it's going to bring control back into the meta. as a prominent force. I mean, honestly, the past few months post BRM, it's been a lot of aggro, and not really a whole lot else has been so successful. I mean, Control Warrior's been good, but it's been aggro and combo, and it's because, you know, aggro is the main archetype because combo is so strong that, you know, you need aggro decks to kill combo. So now we're going to see mid-range and control come back in a big way just because of this expansion. And mid-range and control decks need the most amount of time of fine-tuning and people to really take a look at it and change some cards around. So before people go off, you know, writing off the expansion, they should really take a look at just the power level of the cards and try some things out. The reason I'm trying this deck out is because it's such a high power level that I think there's something there. So, you know, like I said, don't run off the expansion just yet. It's day 2, for God's sake, calm down. We got a lot more to go, and it should be good. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll do some deck techs. As soon as I figure out this spicy meatball, we'll dig into it and do a deck on it. Thanks, guys.